Hello.
Okay.
I'll take 2.
Oh, good morning, Lenny.
I think they're going to provide us with a healthy number of repair kits. At least I hope so, because I'm not the best driver.
Right. If I'm just needed,
I am.
Oh, I have confidence. I'm just also honest with myself.
What's good, homie? Campaign hats? That's for cap or the. That's it, right? All we have is a cap.
Mahalo, brother.
Find a fucking campaign hat.
Mahalo, Lenny.
Mahalo, Bundy. Mahalo.
It's not SLPs. They shouldn't be
What does
wearing it.
mahalo mean? Is that the thing from Lilo and Stitch where it means family?
It means thank you.
Oh.
What,
all right.
like the hat he's wearing in the middle? That one.
That was O'Connor.
Kyle got reamed for wearing that shit. He got fucking destroyed.
O'Connor means family. The family means nobody gets left behind.
It's not in there. It's on the list.
You mean like no child left behind?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Jeb Bush, good man.
Was that Jeb or was that one of the other ones?
It was Jeb.
Yeah. I just when that was George. George
Yes, ma'am.
W. Bush.
Reasonable
All
suspicion.
I'm saying is that human beings and fish can
That
coexist
is when
peacefully.
using your common sense.
What the heck?
Yeah, he said that in speech.
There's gonna be
Bring a tear to my eye.
You're trying to put food on your family.
It allows us to detain individuals and question them. We cannot make an arrest or search them just yet. And if we believe they're dangerous, we can request them.
Man. Oh yeah, I gotta clock in. True. Hello, sir.
Hey, good morning.
All right.
What are you asking me?
Alright, I need to run to the U-Tool to get the repair kits, but other than that, I think we might be good.
Me? Verbal or officer presence, verbal, opener hand, tackling, less lethal and lethal.
Alright, where does the tackling go for? We have 6 levels of pressure fire.
Oh.
They're getting all the easy
well,
questions.
we
I'm
can-
gonna get a hard one, and I won't know
Tackling
it.
free.
How you
Open
feeling?
hand and tackling.
Good. What about you?
Oh. Shit.
You, what is
You the
reasonable
clock went
suspicion?
forward. I had one last hour of sleep.
Oh my God.
I'm at 3 hours.
Boo fucking who?
Is a
Been there,
reasonable
done that,
suspicion
Captain.
that a crime has been
or
or will be committed or is currently being committed, and
little,
allows for
attendance, okay? To see where we're at.
containment but not search and
Tinker,
seizure.
shut up!
Okay.
Damn.
What
Everyone
do you
quiet
do,
up.
with reasonable
Listen the
suspicion?
fuck up.
Okay.
Saved.
Alright, gotta go.
Feels good, man.
Okay, we're gonna do a little attendance right now, okay?
Hit 4.
All right. Hensley,
Here.
bridle.
What the fuck is a bridle?
Are you
Brittle, sir.
are you correcting me?
No, sir. Sorry. Good morning.
Good morning. Tinker.
Here.
Hardcastle.
Here.
Gunner.
Here.
Grimer.
It's Grimmer, sir. I'm here.
Bundy.
Present.
Lenny.
Present.
Hayes.
Present.
Everly.
Here,
Gotta
sir.
wash my hands, hang on.
Richardson. Derby.
Hello.
Fitzpatrick.
Here.
Bavon. Cornwood. Cassius.
Cassius, yeah, present.
Okay. Okay. We have pretty much everybody. We can give it a few more minutes, but otherwise, I think we're ready to go. So,
I don't. Oh, okay.
you want to wait? We can wait.
We can get started. I think I want to give you guys as much time as possible to get into the practical sides of what we're going to do. So welcome to pursuit training. We're going to be going through a couple of slides first on the document. It's going to be slide 41 and 42. So if you guys have got access to that, you should do. It was linked yesterday. Make sure you've got that up next to you. I'm going to go through some of the points in that. Preem's going to start, then I'll be talking about a few things afterwards. So
You say
listen up.
44?
If you have any questions, save them for the end, okay?
Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me?
Oh,
Yes,
Yep,
sir.
loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
All the way on
41.
the left over there, Tinky, you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. All right. Like you said, slide 41. We'll go over some of that stuff, and then he'll take over from there. So this is about vehicle pursuits. We're doing vehicle pursuits today. A lot of that, all that shit. Vehicle pursuits are extremely dangerous for all LEOs and suspects involved, as well as the general public. As such, the following guidelines apply. Okay. When an LEO initiates a pursuit, they will alert dispatch that they're in an active pursuit and provide a description of the vehicle, occupants, and the location and direction of travel. We'll give examples of that, but very briefly, it would sound something like dispatch 403, active 1080 with a whatever vehicle, southbound Strawberry Ave, traffic light, weather clear. Okay, we'll go into more detail with that when we actually get to the pursuits. When able, units will advise of weather, traffic conditions, and continue to update conditions as they change. So if it's raining and 5 minutes into the pursuit,
Good on repair kits.
so if it's raining and like 5 minutes into the pursuit, it's still raining. You don't need to let us know again that it's raining. We get it. Only if it changes, right? Or if the traffic condition changes. Say you're out in the boonies where no one wants to be, and it's a bunch of sand everywhere. Traffic's light. As soon as you come down to the city on South Boulevard, it's heavy. Then you let us know. And the primary unit is responsible for maintaining contact. The primary unit is responsible for maintaining contact with the suspect's vehicle. They focus on driving and only provide important updates such as the observation of the weapons, etc. In the event that other units are unable to, they continue to provide an updated location direction. So basically, primary unit is responsible for just focusing on the suspect they're pursuing. That's it. If they can't, then they'll pass it off to someone who can, basically. But again, primary is hyper focus on that suspect. And obviously, if a weapon comes out of the vehicle, obviously primary will be able to call it because they're in front, they can see it. The secondary unit is responsible for all communications. This allows the primary unit to focus on driving and maintain contact with the suspects. So again, primary is going to be the focus on the vehicle. Secondary is going to be focused on the comms. Comms are extremely important. They're the foundation of patrol police work. I would say one of the foundations. It's huge. So again, the secondary unit is responsible for all comms, and we'll go over exactly how to do all that when we get into the practical stuff. The tertiary unit will attempt to make proactive maneuvers to force the suspect vehicle down certain roads, etc. So typically the tertiary and the fourth and fifth, if that's even necessary, won't be just following in a straight line. Okay, typically you would try and go on, try and predict where the suspect is going to go based on the comms you've been given, try and block off roads, not put your car in front of their car. We discussed that yesterday. That's a no. We don't do that. But try and steer them in directions that you want them to go. Try and intercept things like that. All units will ensure that they are utilizing both emergency lights and sirens during a pursuit. It's very important because we can get sued. If you're pursuing someone, don't pursue with your lights and sirens off. Make sure that they're on. The point of those is to let other people around us know that we're traveling at dangerously high speeds, chasing assholes all around the goddamn city. If an LEO renders their vehicle inoperable, they must announce over dispatch, if feasible, their status and repair their vehicle if possible. Again, we'll go into it in more detail during practical, but it'd be something like if I was chasing a suspect in my car and I crashed, say dispatch 43 1050 Ocean King, right? 1050 is a vehicle accident. So I'm basically just letting dispatch and everyone know I crashed and I'm okay. Ocean King means okay. If I'm not okay, I would say dispatch, 43 1050 requesting medical or something like that. If a pursuit becomes too dangerous due to extremely high rates of speed, unsafe road conditions, etc., units may call off the pursuit. This is rare, and this will probably fall on your FTOs or the units during the chase to kind of determine this. But just to kind of give you an idea of an example of this would be like, say they, I don't know, on Vespucci Boulevard here. If you go all the way across that bridge and there's that dirt hill, people like to for some reason ramp their car like Evil Knievel going like up into the goddamn heavens with that shit. Unit or an FTO might say, okay, let's call this off.
What's the prayer hands?
They're in the atmosphere,
emote?
so we're not chasing them. Again, I want to reiterate, comms are extremely important. You're gonna mess up. We all mess up. It's okay. It's all about repetition, and practice. Does anyone have any questions on the comm stuff and pursue things? All right.
Easy. Okay, so we're gonna be talking a little bit about bicycles and motorcycles during pursuits now. So this is quite relevant on the server at the moment. There's a lot of people using motorbikes for escapes and whatnot. So listen up to this. It's pretty damn important. Okay, thank you, Ziggy. So pursue bikes and motorcycles at a safe distance to avoid accidentally ramming the vehicle. Obviously, we all know that when we're traveling in our vehicles, everyone has, I guess we'll say, like a force field around them, an unstoppable force. So keeping distance in any kind of pursuit is something that's super key. You don't want to kind of end up in those awkward accidents where you're just driving too close anyway, and all of a sudden they just flip over and everyone's like, what? I didn't touch him, not in my eyes. Just, to try and avoid that kind of thing, we got to keep distancing, pretty safe. So bear that in mind, especially with bikes and motorbikes. Does everybody know... Exactly. Does everybody know what happens when you ram into a motorcycle at speed in this city with a car?
Boom.
Boom.
Explosions. We have tended to refer to motorcycles as mobile IEDs and stationary IEDs when we see them just left on the side of the road. They are extremely dangerous. Fred learned the other day, if you drive straight over a motorcycle, that thing is going to blow the fuck up.
I saw that clip.
Blow you up, destroy your car, and anyone else inside. Okay, it's very dangerous, so please keep that in mind. For that reason, we don't pit or ram motorcycles currently. As much as I'd love to sit here and say, yes, we're going to go full London Met Police on them and start macing them and ramming their bikes into walls, we can't do that. So let's avoid that for now. Avoid all contact where possible. You may see high-ranking officers in PD attempt to make contact. I don't expect any cadets to be trying to make those kinds of maneuvers for any reason at all. So high-ranking officers may attempt to make some kind of contact.
Interesting.
But you guys most definitely should not be attempting anything
Dude,
like that.
I'm fucking tired,
okay?
bro. I'm tired.
And then for the last part, so only deploy tasers against motorcycles or cyclists when they're at a standstill or at a very low rate of speed. So you don't want to, tasing someone off a motorcycle. It's pretty tricky now. The distance on the taser itself is pretty short, so you'd have to be pretty damn close to get them off their bike, which does mean you're kind of violating the part that we talked about, distancing and spacing. So if you're going to do that, ideally you should probably be on foot if you can. We're not looking for officers to be tasing people from their vehicles, especially when there's motorcycles involved or bicycles. Okay. All right, so moving on to the next part, stolen police vehicles. LEOs who have their vehicles stolen are immediately to report it as missing over dispatch. We can pursue, if possible, stolen law enforcement vehicles with caution and don't approach them alone. But once you have backup, you guys have got full authority to go pretty aggressive on them. So you can start doing like pitting. You can attempt to box them if they spin out. You can use spike strips when available. And in worst case scenarios, and only when authorized by a high commanding officer, you'd be shooting to injure and stop the driver. So when you're chasing, you need to declare your intent to the occupants and attempt to disable the vehicle as early as possible to regain custody of said vehicle. Now there are firearms in each of these vehicles. We can rack away ARs. So effectively, when someone's trying to steal a police car, they're also stealing an assault rifle, which is incredibly powerful, as I'm sure you guys already know. So the priority for us and the seriousness of us getting those vehicles back is of the utmost importance, as well as the fact that if something happens to that vehicle, such as getting thrown to the Kraken or blown up or whatever, that can be very costly to us as a department and individuals. So I'm sure you guys are already aware of that, so just keep that in mind. Now, maritime vessels. So on occasion, you guys will find that we'll need to pull out boats. Those boats can only be pulled from docks or any kind of port area. And pursuits of waterborne vessels will be treated the same as vehicle pursuits. Law enforcement vessels do not have sirens, so you must continually announce their presence to other vessels. Now, this doesn't mean you should be traveling north parallel with Great Ocean Highway, shouting "Police, stop!" Even when you're not in a chase. But when you arrive on scene, you need to make your presence very clear. Yeah, saying things like "wee woo, wee woo," not okay. Let's try and keep the professionalism up. So announcing yourself as a police officer and for them to stop the boat is absolutely fine, but don't get ridiculous with it. Sometimes you'll see high-ranking officers authorize a boat pit. It has happened before, and isn't something we're afraid to do if we need to do it. Generally, the aim of that is to disable the vehicle and stop it. Okay, that doesn't mean we should be trying to kill everybody on board, and that goes for other vehicles too. All right. Okay, so last part of this, we're going to talk about aircraft. As you guys would probably have seen, there is a new company or a business in the city called AirX. It's going to be doing some bit of advertising now. That are offering flight training packages of both fixed wing and helicopters. So you might see a lot of civilians flying helicopters around. There are regulations around that, and those regulations are listed actually in that document. Please don't show that to your eyes or anything like that. That's still private and shouldn't be released to the masses. Okay, it's got different regulations. It's got all the information on instructors and contact details, and everybody in the city that has a pilot's license, and most importantly, what kind of pilot's license they have. So, for example, if someone does a helicopter training course, they're not technically licensed to fly a plane. So, if you need to find out details of what somebody's specialization is with their pilot's license, that can be found using the document that's linked in the slides. Okay. Now, as I said, there are regulations and whatnot. The instructors at AirX are all legally obliged to tell any kind of trainee exactly what the regulations are. So that could include things about where they can and can't land. So not landing at PD, not landing on the hospital, not landing in the middle of the street, in the burger shop parking lot, etc., etc. All of those are not okay. And soon there's going to be a charge in the penal code where there'll be a specific thing to say they'll get charged and potentially just lose their license if they land on anything that's not helipad or a runway. Okay, that's pretty much it for that part. Does anyone have any questions for that? Go ahead.
I have
same
two
teams,
questions.
huh?
With the aircraft, how do the civilians contact us? I know frequency 911 isn't exactly available to them anymore.
Correct.
So currently what the process is they'll 311 into dispatch. So ideally if there's dispatch around, they'll be able to manage that for the police department, but it's very much in your interest to keep eyes out for 311s like that, especially if you see someone doing something wrong with said aircraft. Because if they do something wrong and they commit a felony with it, you are authorized to shoot that aircraft down.
Born to
that
gamble,
does not mean you should be shooting
wipe.
to blow it out of the sky like some kind of fucking
Born to shit.
Transformers movie. You're shooting to disable the vehicle and force them to land, ideally safely. If they crash on the way down, then, well, maybe they should have been licensed in the first place, but or properly trained in the first place. But you are authorized to shoot them down. You do need to be very wary about where you're shooting them down. If, for example, you're, I don't know, they're hovering above office street apartments and it's super busy, obviously that's not a very good place for you to attempt to shoot an aircraft down. So you should be defaulting to the judgment from your superior officers and FTOs around during that time before you make that kind of decision to shoot an aircraft. Okay. Does that answer your question, Bundy?
Yes, it does.
Can I just
What's that, Custman?
something on? No. Can I something
What?
on?
I can barely understand what you're saying. Speak with your chest, man.
Speak with my chest. Could I add something on, please? No, about the
Absolutely.
you brought up the charge.
We can't hear what you're saying when you're in your iPad for some reason,
I'm not sure.
Custman.
Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay, there is a charge for flying in the restricted airspace. Restricted
There
covers,
is.
LEOs, buildings, and public medicals, restricted zones.
There is also a charge for flying with no license. So make sure you guys are charging people with that if it does happen. They are pretty hefty charges, and they really should be. It should be very easy for an officer to remove someone's pilot's license if they're doing something fucking crazy with it. Any more questions on that part?
I had a question related to the stolen police vehicles.
Yeah.
Do civilians have access to the gun rack, or would they need a key to unlock that?
I don't think they have access to it now.
Follow up.
Technically.
Follow-up
That's
question,
not the way
sir.
we deal with it. Go ahead, Lenny.
As soon as we see a civilian sitting in the vehicle unauthorized, can we blow their brains out?
No. So think about your force escalation level there, Lenny. So in that situation, yes, you could get your gun out and point it at him immediately and try and get him out of the vehicle. And you could warn them if they try and drive away, you're going to shoot them. And if they drive away at that point, yeah, fucking blast them, no problem.
Alright.
If someone's just sitting in your vehicle, don't just open fire and murder somebody. Make sure they know you're an officer. Make sure they know what your intentions are and be very vocal about that. Okay.
10-4.
Any more questions? Nice. Okay. Well, let's start splitting up into groups then. What's the groups already? It's gonna be slightly different today, right?
It should be exactly the same, I believe. I don't think we made any changes regards to that. We have to make adjustments for people who aren't here. FTO wise, we can. But let's split up into the same groups you had last time.
Yep.
Okay.
Just quickly about the
Without
vehicles.
Bayvon and Cornwood, we have one.
Yeah,
Listen up,
it's
just
already.
for the
We've only got
vehicles.
one in our group for now. Sorry, Castman. Yeah, we need to do some adjustments for the
The
groups for sure,
vehicles
but go ahead.
downstairs. The trunk of every single vehicle we've left a scene just for you to see who needs keys or who has the keys. There's 8 vehicles which don't need keys. They're all there. Otherwise, it'll say you need me or you need Malton. So if you just stand at the trunk of the vehicle, we can hand those keys out if you just hold up patiently.
Yeah, also evidence 1000 that has everything you need. It has repair kits, first aid kits, food, and milkshakes. Okay, if you're gonna take a repair kit, please take one at a time. Don't take like 3 just in case, because I want to try and manage how many we actually need. So
Cornwood's on his way to already, by the way.
Oh. Okay. Then they should be. You guys should be fine. I think that's the only one missing. Really, just one group is going to be a little smaller than.
Okay,
That's
so
fine.
instructors, make sure you guys are going through spike stripping and pitting and all that, all the box maneuvers and whatnot. And also, ideally, we need to keep it separate parts of the island, but we do need to make sure that at least part of the chase practice that we're doing is in the city, because that's, you know, pretty, that's like the core of where we're driving mostly. All right.
Sorry, Snow. Cool.
That's okay.
I'm gonna go downstairs for keys.
No, that's what we're talking about.
Seven,
But yeah. It's part of
Everyone's on
it's
radio.
part
I'm
of the
going
group bit. We decided to break it down into that because it's better to get practical.
10-2.
Yeah. So I've just stood here demonstrating a spike. It just seems like a waste of time.
You all right?
Yeah, that's it, really. All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I
think you're
we're on
the
channel
general
10,
area
right?
on car, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
What's up?
If the helpers are on here, you're probably gonna have to be the ones crimming it up because we're gonna have to be in the cars with them. So if you just want to grab a civilian car, and we'll meet you there.
Oh God.
Do you guys want us to leave the garage and meet up somewhere else?
Radio check.
Bam, 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 bam.
Got him.
Go.
Who's gonna help
I can
me
take
with
that.
now? Lenny.
Hey.
Lenny.
Hello. Well, any one of
Hello.
these will do, sir.
Yes, I'm giving you keys. Come here. Come here. There you go.
Thank you.
Here you are.
Don't run me over. Don't run me over. Minus 5 points if you run me over.
I don't think so.
Ah.
Radio check. 10-2. Where's group 3 going? Currently I'm going to the gas station off of Strawberry because I need gas real bad.
Meet at the Legion Square Bank parking lot once you have your car and you're ready.
Wait, I think I have enough money for gas. Oh well.
Rogers, do you need a ride or are you taking your Regina? Yeah, I can pick you up as well, Rogers.
I'm on the way to the bank now. I can get out.
I got the Regina, but I think for
Did you say a Regina?
Ride with y'all. Hey,
Nice.
firm 376.
That sounds like vagina.
It's going to be myself and Leah Campbell for your dispatchers.
That sounds like vagina. Sorry, I had to say it again so you guys knew. It kinda do, though. This man's game's not working right now? Uh-huh. Name's Omega, thanks for subbing. I'm refueling my car. The juicer sends his regards from inside the bank vault.
Go my Regina. I've got the SUV, just use this one.
Oh yeah, bank parking lot.
Lenny, where are you at?
23.
10-4.
I also had to refuel my car.
Yeah, and spike strips. They didn't go over that. When to use, when not to use. I mean, that's pretty easy.
Oh. Spike strips are somewhat straightforward, and they're not used that much anymore because of the cost anyway.
Yeah. Do we even have any?
I put 40 in
I have some
evidence
in
1000.
my locker.
Yeah, we have some.
I got a few on mine.
Okay, is that everyone? Where's Bundy at?
Hello.
He's here.
I stand over there so I know where you guys are. Okay, so let's go over a few things. I don't think they mentioned spike strips, but that's something that you might use occasionally. They currently cost they currently cost a lot of money, so I'm not going to expect everyone to be using spike strips in every single chase because you will literally bankrupt yourself like I have. So careful with them. The way they work is pretty simple. If you haven't used one before, you probably want to put it on your hotbar. You just want to press the button. It goes down. After 5 seconds, it's gone. No worries about picking it up again or anything like that. The place you want to use a spike strip is when you've been given authorization. Yeah, that's what it looks. It's about the length of a lane and a half or so. So it's not very wide. On a lot of these big roads, like if you look at the street over there, what's that, Elgin? Or some shit?
Yeah.
It's
Elgin.
not wide enough to cover the whole
Oh,
street.
God.
So you got to be careful where you place it. And you'll be wasting a lot of money if you're not careful where you place them. And think about what the scene looks like when you place it as well. So if you were to place one coming into this alley, it'd be great because when the vehicle slides out of control, all he's got to hit is walls. He's not going to go anywhere incredibly dangerous. But don't put him on like the end of a ramp or
Why isn't it showing
on like
up?
a cliff's edge or something. The goal is not to send the car careening into the ocean where we will never find them again. So think about where the trajectory of the vehicle will go because they'll lose control. So ideally you want to put them just down the road where they'll just lose momentum and slide out. But let's be honest,
Yeah.
best case scenario, it's probably going to be like into an enclosed wall or like a pit or something. Just careful of water, careful of big drops, careful of shit like that. It's pretty obvious when we get into it. As they cover the pursuits, is going to be the primary. I think all of you have been in pursuits thus far because you've been on ride-alongs. I don't know if any of you have driven besides Lenny and maybe Bundy. But the goal of pursuits is to have, with 3 of you here, a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary, or third if it works for you, whatever. Primary unit, like they said, is going to be just locked onto them. Secondary unit should be ideally doing comms, letting the third unit know where to go, and the third unit should be trying to set up to funnel the suspect into a route they weren't planning on going. That doesn't mean pull in front of them, doesn't mean slam into them. It just means get in front of them and block off certain roads. For example, if they're taking a corner, if they're going south on that road right there behind us, and they're trying to make a right into that alley, and you could block them off, that'd be great. Because at that speed, they're probably going less than 40 miles an hour. They're not going to get hit harder if they hit you, and you're going to be able to disrupt their plan, essentially. That's what we want to do.
With experience, you'll figure out, the alleys and whatnot criminals like to take, and you can plan ahead, block them off, basically ruin their plan.
Okay, let's fire up some pursuits. Just get on the road, so we learn, just get right into it.
We're just gonna go straight into it.
What else do you want to say?
I'd like to add. So when you're primary, your primary, you've got someone secondary doing comms. I want you to immediately call out any U-turns, any abnormal behavior from the primary vehicle. If they start shooting, primary needs to call that stuff as soon as possible so everyone else can get ready for it, especially U-turns, because these cars, our cruisers, they wheel spin trying to do a U-turn. Okay, so I want to hear that as soon as possible.
All right, let's go and get into it. Let's just keep it simple. We'll have you guys rotate through primary, secondary, tertiary, and once you're actually in the pursuit, it's all bets are off. Whoever maintains control, whatever's best for the situation. So we'll have let's have Lenny start off as primary. Let's have, and then Hayes and Bundy can just follow in where it makes sense. We'll just basically appoint a primary unit.
Slow.
Yeah, we'll take it slow.
Ready to check.
Well,
so that they can learn the comms and everything before we start picking it up.
I'll ride with you.
So we'll just do slow, get them used to everything.
So if dispatchers, if you just want to sit in one of the cadets' cars in the back or something, that'd probably be fine. So we don't have another vehicle floating around. Let's have Lenny lead with the primary unit. So we're gonna just call 1080. We'll have dispatch, or just we'll have one of the vehicles drive by you. When it drives by you, just engage into pursuit, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Do you know what the initial call out for an 80 would be from you?
Dispatch 567 active 80 westbound, Elgin, shit like that, right?
Yeah, so
occupied
car,
one time, vehicle description.
Yep, traffic and weather conditions.
We're just going right now?
Yeah, we're just gonna break into a just a 1080. You guys just chasing, and we'll see how it goes and correct from there.
Dispatch 567, we got an active 80 eastbound Vespucci Boulevard. Legion Square Bank vehicle is a 4-door SUV, green in color, occupied what appears to be 2, possibly 3 times, heading northbound now Strawberry Avenue.
Good.
543 secondary left, eastbound San Andreas.
It's not as big a deal, but traffic and weather as well. So traffic light, weather clear in this case.
Crossing under Power Street. Passing the Arcadius building. Left, southbound Calais. Passing the construction yard off of Calais. Left, eastbound Adams Apple Boulevard.
I wonder when he's gonna send it.
Right, southbound Alta. Opposing lanes of travel. Left, eastbound Innocence.
Ho ho ho!
Right, southbound Davis.
I shouldn't be turning off my siren. I'm gonna get in trouble, dude.
Right, westbound, northbound Alta. Opposing lanes of travel. Left, westbound Innocence. Right, northbound through a parking lot off of Innocence.
In this situation, I mean, in an alleyway, I could definitely go for like a little pit,
Eastbound
right?
through the alleyway.
Yeah,
left,
but don't do it for
northbound
now,
Alta.
just because this is just like the practice portion. But yeah, you could definitely go for like blocking or something.
Did for
Approaching Alta Street Apartments. Left into the Alta Street Apartments. Southbound through the parking lot. Left, northbound Alta.
Bundy, when you get a chance, take primary, and then we'll have Lenny try comms.
Copy that. 567
passing on your left.
567 comes northbound Alta Street. Still northbound Alta, heading up the hill.
Watch your spacing.
Fuck. I didn't even make a noise when I hit him. Through the alleyway, taking a left, westbound, taking another left, southbound Los Lagunas, taking another left, eastbound Occupation Avenue near the old courthouse.
When you stay through an alleyway, try to give a cardinal direction at least.
Did
So
for
westbound through an alleyway, you're good.
left, northbound Power Street. Right through an alleyway, eastbound Power Street. Right, southbound Meteor Street.
You gonna call out that he struck an officer?
Did he?
I saw him tap an officer, yeah. Fine now, just keep going.
Right, westbound Del Piero Freeway. Opposing lanes of traffic, westbound Del Piero Freeway still. Oh, Jesus. Westbound Del Piero Freeway still. It's too early. Secondary is 1050.
Primary 1050 Ocean King. Continuing, northbound El Perro. Opposing lanes of travel.
All right, that was good. So some things you could do is also update the speed. So like we're approaching 100 miles an hour, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, as soon as you crash, try to 1050 Ocean King if you're all right, so they know to take over comms.
If I have a secondary unit, I can hear you on radio. We're continuing South Rockford Drive, going down towards the dock off of Shank Street. U-turn.
Good.
Yeah. I'm a second.
567 secondary comms. We are currently southbound Dutch London, taking a right onto the underpass. Greenwich Parkway southbound. Eastbound Greenwich Parkway now near the airport.
Fire lights off.
Vehicle went left down northbound off-road. Primary VCB code 6ing under La Porta Freeway.
567 also hard 1050.
There you go. Why'd you turn your lights and sirens off?
I didn't want one of those cars to veer into me.
Oh, okay. So is Hayes having radio issues again? Is that?
I think so.
I'm not sure. I could hear it fine on the radio.
I can't hear.
Yeah, I can't hear it at all.
Hold on.
510 radio check.
Okay, try again when I'm over here.
10-2.
I can hear you. Wait, no, I can't.
Say again,
Radio
Hayes.
check.
Right next to us, yeah.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, we can't hear Hayes on the radio. It's just because we're next to her.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and check your keybinds or something? Because that's something we actually need for today. Yesterday wasn't a big deal, but today we actually are going to need that. Or else it's kind of pointless to even have you here. So let's go over pitting real quick. I know that they discussed it almost at length in the actual discussion, but just to keep it short and brief, when can you pit? When are you allowed to pit? Does anyone have an answer?
When primary decides it's time.
How do you decide it's time?
It's up to their own discretion, I've been told.
Their own discretion.
Negative.
Okay. You want to correct him, Grader?
Okay. So basically, when you feel that the driver is being a reckless driver, putting multiple lives in danger, pursuit maybe has gone long enough, you can request for authorization to pit, and the highest officer in that chase will either grant you permission or deny it.
Yeah, just to elaborate just a little bit, it's more than like when you decide. It's about how the pursuit is being done. If they're driving on the sidewalks, if they're running over people, colliding with a lot of objects, colliding with other cars, shit like that, what we deem as a reckless driver, we have a reason to get them off the road. If they're mostly just driving slow and on the road, we don't necessarily want to escalate things unless we have to, unless it's been prolonged for, like more than 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. We want to give them a buffer, a chance to surrender still if they're not being violent or if they're not crashing this shit, so to speak. But if they're on the sidewalks, cutting across grass, almost hitting people, almost hitting cars, at that point is when the primary would either give themselves permission if they are the highest rank in the chase, like Drader said, or if they're not, they would request permission from the highest rank in the chase. In this case, we'll just use Malton and or Drader as the highest rank. They'll be in your car, but they'll give you permission or whatever if you request it on the radio, right? So when it comes to pitting as well, one thing you need to look out for is pedestrian traffic and other cars on the road. And there's a lot of pedestrian traffic in Los Santos. You'll see all sorts of areas, but you'll notice in certain areas, like where we are right now, it's an active area, but there's no pedestrians, just other cars. So this would be a good area to think about pitting, especially in that corner over there. We've got like a barricade and such. So you want to be careful of main areas as well. Like you're almost never going to want to pit at the Alta Street Apartments or at the hospital or in front of the police station, because there's almost guaranteed actual foot traffic, not even just locals, and that's a big deal. Also, the vault's another place to look out for. So we're just going to be cognizant of those issues. As the chase goes on longer and longer, you can request permission to pit if you feel it's necessary, but this should be more than just like, oh, I feel like it's right, it's time to pit. You should you should be able to articulate a reason, like, oh, they're driving recklessly, they're almost striking people, they're shouting obscenities, you know, the crime that they committed is severe. Shit like that would be a good reason to pit. You want to add anything, Malton, before we get back into it?
No, I mean that all sounded great. Do we want them all to pick up spike strips just in case they ever actually get a chance?
Yeah, let's have them grab one spike strip. Again, if you see the opportunity to spike someone and you think that their behavior, their driving, their reckless driving warrants a spike attempt, you can request permission, and Malton or Drader will just give you permission on the radio, acting as a superior officer. Okay?
They're in evidence 1000. People who
all right. So when you guys are ready, let's get back up in the cars. Let's have Bundy take primary, with Lenny. Let's have you as secondary while Hayes is figuring out what's going on. If you need to take a few minutes to like try to figure out what's going on with one of the dispatchers, that's fine. But
Yeah, I can help you as well.
yeah, just like a sounding board.
I have a question from that pursuit with the pit stuff. With them entering opposing lanes of travel, like on the highway, for as long as they did, plus the opposing lanes of travel and the sidewalks prior to that, would that have been a good time to ask for a pit?
So it's dependent on like if they're so. Are you asking specifically about the oncoming lanes or the erratic driving as a total?
Like as a total, you know, they were driving on the sidewalk when they
total.
were in the city, and then they, you know, got on the highway, immediately jumped into opposing lanes.
Yeah, you would have grounds to ask for permission to pit. A superior officer might agree, they might disagree, they might tell you to pit even if it gets bad enough. But when they've demonstrated that they're going to be reckless drivers, you have basically grounds to ask for permission. It doesn't guarantee it, but that would be fine. Yeah, if they're in opposite lanes and they're crossing across highways and jumping off and on freeways and off roads and shit, that's fine. Okay. Let's run it again. I think Hayes is gonna figure out her thing, so we'll just keep going.
That car's out of gas. It's gonna go almost completely.
Yeah, I'm just impounding it.
Mike Racer, thanks for subbing. And Yolt, thanks for subbing.
Eating or some shit, and they're not pulling over.
Woolagar and Craigoth, thanks for subbing. Nice name.
Dispatch 543, active 1080, two-door blue vehicle currently eastbound Greenwich Parkway. Traffic
Secondary
light,
ticket
clear.
comes. Oh god. Northbound Exceptionalist Way. You remember the traffic.
Yeah, you cut them off though.
That's my bad. Taking a right eastbound Utopia Parkway. Slight right eastbound still. Left northbound under the tunnel in the Maze Bank Arena parking lot. Going up the hill, left, another left, southbound Utopia Parkway, back onto the street. Right westbound through traffic now. Oh, the car's fucked up. Westbound Dutch London. We are still northbound, taking a right eastbound La Puerta Freeway.
For La Puerta, you gotta differentiate between upper and lower.
We are opposing lanes of traffic eastbound La Puerta Upper.
There you go.
Back regular traffic northbound La Puerta. What is this? Still northbound La Puerta Freeway. Exiting the highway westbound La Puerta. Right northbound Palomino Avenue. Near the old jewelry store, right eastbound Dorset Drive. Left northbound Dorset. Correction, Rockford. Left westbound Carcer. Another left eastbound Dorset again. He's circling this large building near the jewelry store and the new courthouse. Left westbound. Oh yeah, we are just doing circles around this building right now.
There you
Secondary,
go.
I'll stay on him if you want to try to spike.
10-4, breaking up for a spike.
Left, southbound Dorset. Left, eastbound Rockford. Left, northbound Rockford Drive.
Be advised, next go around, I will be dropping the spikes.
Currently westbound Dorset, or eastbound Dorset Drive. Left, northbound Rockford. Spike avoided driving on the sidewalk. Gonna be eastbound Carcer Way.
All right, let's get back
Left,
in it.
northbound 8 Milton Parkway.
Well, I'm grabbing more.
Okay.
Sorry to break in, but can we move this pursuit out of this area so we don't interfere with the other one?
Left, eastbound Boulevard Del Vero.
What the fuck is Del Piero?
Passing the Rockford Hills Church. Approaching a life invader. Right, northbound Dorset.
510 secondary, continuing northbound, correction west Dorset, passing the golf course. Driving into the golf course parking lot.
I believe there's only one exit to this.
Copy, all set up for spikes.
U-turn. U-turn again back through the parking lot.
510 set for spikes.
Coming at you.
All right, so if they're just circling like that, as
543,
opposed to
got
just
spiked.
saying like left, you could also just say, you know, oh, he's just doing
Alright,
circles.
let's
in the
regroup at
Rockford
the
Hills
golf
area
course
to
entrance.
get
I think
people
that's
in
probably
the area.
a good break point.
Then keep doing your normal comms.
You know, putting them down earlier. No.
I brought you
my tires.
You could have blocked the other lane with your car.
Okay, so wait for Bundy to finish fixing his car, I guess. Actually, let's walk over to Bundy because it's gonna take a second. Okay, so let's talk about spike stripping a little bit for a couple seconds. I saw Lenny make an attempt, and I saw Hayes make an attempt. There's a couple things to talk about with spike stripping. One is you generally want to try to be behind your car, not in front of it. They shouldn't try to run you over, but we only know that through the server rules, so let's not pretend like, you know, in RP it makes sense to just stand in the middle of the road and get run over by a criminal who's fleeing the police. They could, for all we know, in RP, they could just run you over and you would be in the hospital for the rest of your life with a back injury or some shit. So try to stand behind your vehicle if you can, or behind an object. This little guardhouse is perfect, actually. And like Drader said to Hayes, you can use your car to block one lane and then funnel them through and then place spikes in front of them. I like how you tried to wait to put them down. That was a good attempt. It takes a little bit of practice to work on the timing, I understand, so we'll work on that too. As far when it comes to applying spikes, what was the justification behind applying spikes there, Bundy, or requesting Lenny to?
Slow rates of speed, one-way exit, and the individual was circling at low rates of speed. Essentially, it was seemed like a safe way to end the pursuit.
So, do we just spike people whenever we want to, or is there a prerequisite like we talked about?
I thought the prerequisite was for pit maneuvers and things like that. I didn't realize that we had.
It's for both. So,
okay.
Like I said, you need to ask for permission to get spikes down from the highest rank in the pursuit. If that's yourself, if you get to such a rank, then that's fine. But in this case, it's not. So just ask Drader or Malton on the radio, and they'll respond. All you have to say is, requesting permission to spike the vehicle or whatever, something of that nature, and they'll respond whether it's applicable or not. Circling a building like that, honest to God, it's unlikely you're actually going to get a spike strip off because of the openness of the road surrounding that building. I can understand the thought process you may have had, but when it comes to spikes, you generally want to have them in a funnel. This area is pretty good. I acknowledge that the side of the lanes here might be too wide, but generally alleys are going to be best, and roads where there aren't a lot of options to go around. So when it comes to spikes, permission, and you need to have not reasonable suspicion or probable cause, but I would call it justification. So let's think about that when we're going to spikes in the future. As well as
add
the
on
pursuit.
to that.
Go ahead.
With the spikes and the permission, once you receive the permission, you should be telling your fellow units where you're placing the spike. If they're only going to be in one lane, across all lanes, we need to know.
Oh, cut out. You good?
He cut out, but to tag on to basically what he was saying. Tell where you're gonna spike. So I'm spiking the correct lane of travel. I'm spiking the opposing lanes of travel. I'm spiking all lanes of travel, so they know that if they have to go off-road or on the sidewalk. That way, they're not having to guess where to position their car to avoid it.
Right. All right. Good overall. We were still brushing up on some. I feel like we're shaking off the rust a little bit on driving and getting used to the cars themselves and operating the radio at the same time. So we'll just keep running them until we get kind of the rush shaken off, so to speak. Do you guys have any questions about what you can and cannot do when it comes to pursuits and when you should do stuff? All right, that's great. Let's have Hayes. Is your radio working?
Yeah, secondary. She's good now.
Okay, great. That's awesome. Okay, let's have you as secondary. Let's put Bundy in front again.
So used to getting into the driver's seat.
Also, just FYI, when it comes down to the slow speed stuff, generally what we want to do is box people. So like when they're circling the building like that, it's relatively hard because there's not really like a hard surface to force them into. But if they're going slowly, you kind of just want to box them in and get in front of them. That's what slow speeds usually end up with.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
All right, same deal as always. Just calling the vehicle as speeding, trying to pull it over, and they just keep resisting and flee.
Dispatch 543 attempting 1038, gray in color, silver SUV occupied 2 times, southbound Dorset. Dispatch vehicle failing to yield, active 1080, southbound Dorset Drive, traffic light weather cleared.
510 secondary, right west Marathon Ave. Left South Heritage Way. Exiting North Rockford Drive, stand by for a direction. Cutting across westbound Red Desert Ave.
Man, I was right.
North in a walking area. Left west Marathon Ave, driving on the sidewalk.
You asked for pit now.
Left South Bay City.
Pull anything in alley.
Left east Red Desert. Left north Rockford Drive. Left west Boulevard Del Perro. Left South Bay City.
You're not over here?
Passing Del Perro Pier, southbound Bay City.
Dispatch primary, requesting permission to pit when safe. They've been driving on the sidewalks, just struck a motorist.
Permission granted for pit display.
Left into an alleyway nearest Cross Bay City. Crossing Imaginations Court, continuing an alleyway southbound. Left South Bay City. 510-1050.
567 briefly taking comms. You were taking a left eastbound Bay City Avenue.
Primary going for pit. Pit unsuccessful.
567 yielding for secondary when close. Take it.
510 secondary, South Rockford Drive into a parking area.
Does this work? Oh God.
Towards Calais, North Calais. Driving on the sidewalk.
Listen.
Vehicle pitted. Vehicle continuing eastbound Adams Apple Boulevard. Left South Alta. Driving on the train tracks and sidewalk. Left South Carson Ave. Driving on the sidewalk, Forum Drive, southbound.
Individual struck another civilian. We need to try to end this thing.
Clear to get a little more aggressive with it.
543 assuming secondary. Left.
543, take primary.
Copy.
Continuing southbound Forum Drive, passing over Strawberry, going into a parking lot. Cutting across through alleyways towards Davis. Vehicle pitted. Going back into a parking area. 510 BCB. 1022, they're on McDonald Street. Going into a gas station. 510 blocking entrance.
Another way out?
Fine,
No.
I'm gonna try to exit on foot, hold him a gunpoint, get him out of the vehicle.
They're circling the gas station currently.
I'll blow my.
If someone wants to put spikes out, they're constantly circling.
567. This guy said, yeah, he's starting to blow himself up. Maybe we should take a shot here, sir, if possible.
Vehicle
567 taking primary. We are westbound McDonald Street.
510 secondary, continuing southbound Strawberry. Passing the church. Left North Carson. Left East Innocence. Going into a parking area. continuing eastbound Innocence Boulevard. Secondary takeover.
533 secondary northbound tower.
Hell no, you're not gonna get me, buddy.
If he goes into like an alleyway or parking lot, gonna get real aggressive and go for a box.
Right, eastbound through an alleyway off the tower. Left northbound. Left, correction, northbound through the alleyways off of Vespucci.
Get him into a wall.
Oh. All right, 567, requesting permission to shoot. This guy just ran over 3 people on the sidewalk.
Denied, but you're allowed to start S1ing now. Which means get aggressive and just try to pit them just anywhere, but don't open fire yet. Get him into that wall. Keep hammering.
Secondary westbound Vespucci. Going into the red parking garage.
My car's fucked up.
Taking the pathway towards San Andreas. If I can get a unit to come from northbound San Andreas to Pinman.
567. Stop now!
Go, son. Stop where you are.
I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out if you touch me with that car!
Yo, chill.
Get out of the car!
Oh, he just struck an officer.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you now.
Alright.
Alright.
I didn't want to shoot him because
I guess
that's
that's fair enough. Okay, kill the sirens on whoever's got sirens real quick.
all of us.
That's the
All of us.
Every car.
I got it. Imagine those are the last things you hear before you die.
What?
Okay, I'm gonna shoot you now.
All right. Overall, I think that was good. I think it seems like we're already making progress, which is great. A lot of this shit is honest to God. It's gonna sound like a mobile when I say this shit, but it comes down to map knowledge, knowing where alleys dump out and what alleys often are taken. Like Raider said, you'll kind of start to recognize, oh, they're doing this, and you know what to do. So I'm not gonna blame you guys for not knowing the map as intimately as some of the cops who've been here for like 5 years might. Overall, pretty good. Boxes could use some work. Try to be helps to know kind of how the cars react to getting bumped. The Crown Vics tend to act like paperweights when they get bumped, so you really have to be reactive and reposition the car pretty quickly, or they're going to get out of it. Careful jumping out of the car like that because you're on the driver's side. You could probably actually change seats to the passenger and then jump out, and you'd be just fine doing that shit, Lenny. You could also, honestly, if the chase has gone on this long and they're still not even giving up, even when they're boxed in like this, you could probably just get out and tase them, honest to God. I don't have a problem with that. If the car is basically at a standstill, no problem.
All right.
Okay, any other feedback from the FTOs?
Yeah, so just real quick, basically, kind of like I was saying at the end here to you, Bundy, your goal is to try to keep the vehicle to where it can't go anywhere for a box to be successful. So if that means, tapping the back end to keep it a little sideways or guiding it into the wall so others can catch up, that's probably going to be your best bet. As you can see, the cars are pretty hard to disable, and yours is going to take significant damage in the process. But especially when they're striking people like that, which the call outs for that were good, as soon as they get into an alleyway or places where there aren't people, yeah, just start. I hate to use the term bumper cars, but like get it into a wall, try to keep it there. And then with your backup, you could box it in pretty effectively.
Okay. Greater.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Just you don't want to get out of the car and be between two pieces of metal. That's a bad time.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Let's keep running them. Actually, can I have Bison drive just for a minute? I just want to give them an opportunity for another driver, so you guys can see. Because I'm sure Pinzone is probably actually one of the more experienced getaway drivers around here.
Could we?
Yeah, I wasn't even going that hard.
It's true.
Yeah.
Actually.
Could we go repair real quick?
Yeah, we can.
Dude, I'll kill a cop.
Does this count?
I do actually have something to add.
Just in there. Okay.
So just to bring it up, if there's dead space, like dead air on the radio, primary, pick that up, right? Whoever's closest to that vehicle, pick it up, letting everyone know where you're going. I don't want to hear nothing. Nothing on the radio is bad during a pursuit, okay?
Yes, sir.
Let me throw you key.
Hey, Malton, can I get a sugar daddy and get like a couple $100 I can repair this thing?
Yeah, well, we should all repair our vehicle.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, we're just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take just a couple minutes. If the Crown Vics can return to Mission Row and repair, while these dudes go get another car, let's meet back at the bank again and the parking lot.
Yeah, repair your vehicles, then back to the bank. How do you think you're doing overall, Lenny?
I think I'm doing all right.
Not bad.
My dogs are barking. Thanks.
Yeah.
Man. Did I ever show all my dogs? No, not yet. My husky needs to be groomed, so I feel like if I take a picture of my husky, people are gonna be like, "Bro, what the fuck? Why is she so badly groomed? You're mistreating your dog." But we can't get her groomed because global pandemic. It is very difficult to groom a husky properly. Dog might get COVID? No, I might get COVID.
543 76 Legion Square Bank parking lot.
Wow, cool car.
It's already rattling, dude.
Whoa, dude, does that come in men?
Good lord.
Okay.
How's it going?
Let's have Hayes, Bundy, and Lenny in that order. We're gonna start up another one. It's gonna be this orange car. Give me just a second to coordinate with the helpers driving.
You say Hayes, Bundy, Lenny?
Yeah, you're last.
Dead for.
to go. Yep, we're good to go. Just telling them what to do.
Five 1038 westbound Adams Apple Boulevard. The Dominator, orange in color. Failing to yield, X1080 traffic light, weather clear, speeds 60 miles an hour and climbing.
543 secondary, northbound upper power.
And there's dead space, just call it that you're tertiary, just so if this was like live, no one else would be responding to it.
Approaching the old courthouse, continuing northbound. Left, westbound Hawick. Opposing lanes of travel, left, southbound Alta. Left, eastbound Hawick. Left, northbound Power Street. Secondary VCB. Left, southbound St. Viper Street.
He took a right, he took a right.
Slow it down, Todd. Are you asking me to slow it down? Yeah, please.
Right, northbound Las Lagunas. Right, westbound Spanish. Left, northbound Las Laguna Plaza. Left, eastbound, westbound through an alleyway. Left, southbound Las Lagunas. Right, westbound Spanish. Approaching the gallery, continuing westbound. Left, southbound Eastbourne Way. Left, westbound, correction, eastbound Hawick. Right, southbound through a parking structure. Secondary
God.
VCB.
East Carcer. Passing over Las Lagunas, continuing westbound occupation.
567 secondary for now. Right southbound Capitol or Alta Street.
Try to stay secondary.
Did you say try to stay secondary?
Yeah, try. So like, yeah, treat it like the real thing. You know, stay in secondary if able. That way, if primary fucks up, you can take over.
That's what we did last time.
Power.
Hey, buddy.
Northbound left, westbound, jumping onto the highway. Now westbound Boulevard, Del Perro.
510 secondary, westbound Del Perro Freeway, taking left towards our freeway exit, cutting across northbound Dorset. Tree. There's a tree there. Primary takeoff.
Copy, vehicle U-turn, Dorset Drive. Be southbound, right, southbound Dave Milton Parkway. Passing the Arcadius building.
510 secondary, going into corrections, cutting across San Andreas, going to the red parking garage. Going out towards northbound San Andreas. North Las Lagunas. Right east occupation. At 1050 Ocean King.
But I just struck 2 civilians, primary requesting permission to pit when safe.
Granted.
Just struck another civilian.
Right south, Elgin, passing Pillbox Medical. Left east San Andreas. Going into correction, Elgin's Continue South Elgin, 1050 with another motor vehiclist.
They're shouting, relax, we don't want to have to escalate this.
Continuing east, Vespucci.
567 taking primary. We are going eastbound Vespucci Boulevard.
543 secondary. Passing Mission Road Police Department, crossing over the bridge, Vespucci Boulevard.
You said permission to pick, correct?
Yep, correct.
Left, northbound Popular.
Well, guys.
Left, westbound off-road. Or correction, through the...
Don't ram. They're ramming Ronald here. It's good, get in there.
Box him in, box him in.
Listen, I don't want to escalate.
Get out of the vehicle now!
I can't go anywhere, I'm stuck.
You have 5 seconds before your brains are on the cement.
Ah! Alright, let's call that here. Let's talk about it.
Siren off. I can't tell if it's...
There we go.
So many.
Oh!
Alright, from my end, that was a lot better. It's pretty good overall. You guys were calling out when they were, you know, trying to escalate on there, and that they were hitting people. The only thing to keep in mind is primary. Obviously, secondary is not going to be in a position to hear what the car people are saying or doing. So if you're like on their ass for whatever reason and you hear them saying like, "Oh, we're going to have to start shooting soon," well, make sure you relay that, because that's obviously pretty critical information. But that,
it was good. People are picking up
I don't
comms.
have anything bad to...
All right, let's just
That
do another one
box
then.
was phenomenal. It's good.
All right, so another one. We'll just have Lenny, Bundy, Hayes, I guess, in that order.
You
Let me
want
just
to
wanna
add
say
foot
you,
at all?
You spinning them out right here was beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
It was beautiful.
All right, so real quick, let's start incorporating foot pursuits. If you guys have been in foot pursuit, it should be pretty readily obvious how that goes down. We're gonna just let one happen, and then we'll correct from there. I think that's probably the best way to deal with it.
Okay.
What's up?
Why don't you just do some watch?
Hey, Bison, Zone, come here real quick.
Block this thing for Summit. Chat talking shit the whole time and you get the perp. I don't think chat realizes how fucking hard it is to be the pursuer as opposed to being the guy who gets to fly through traffic without sirens on. It is so hard.
I know you're
I do want to. These exercises are giving me a lot more confidence with this car.
Man. Your login info and I'll try. Yeah, I mean, this isn't something you can do without practice, as it pertains to NoPixel because of the way that the cars work on NoPixel and as well.
Alright, we're good. Yeah, we're gonna get a new car real quick. This one's busted.
We're just gonna follow them.
Yeah, because they're just gonna get a car real quick.
Was the hardest position?
For the cadets, this is not gonna end when the car wrecks out. That's all I'm gonna
primary.
say.
Bro, what? Are you kidding me?
One of the two.
This is calling me, Bison. Don't get like a cabrio. That's like scum.
Oh, this is the reason to chase.
Bro, come on. What are you gonna do? Get away in a bike? You're gonna use 3 black bikes. You're gonna use 3 bikes in front of a fleeker.
Listen, all right. Your Alice is showing. You're being real scumbaggy right now. Okay.
That's not scumbag.
Tertiary is third.
Alright, we're good to go.
Call it out whenever you're ready.
Oh my god.
Dispatch 567 active 80 northbound Popular Street occupied 2 times. Gray sedan occupied 2 times. Weather clear traffic moderate.
Oh, that's good. You said it was occupied 2 times. Secondary. So that's not a big deal.
It's early.
Nope.
FN Tertiary.
Now westbound Poplar Street, right northbound Elgin.
He curb boosting that bitch.
Left. Westbound.
That's okay. 4-door.
Continuing westbound Spanish approaching ammunition, right northbound power.
Are you Kerber?
Is he holding something out of the window?
I thought I had him completely pinned.
Almost.
Oh, nice.
We are down the hill right now, right southbound Meteor Street.
Yeah, good job. Secondary didn't call out.
Let me call my friend. Let me call my boy.
Get off the phone and pull over now.
Secondary continuing southbound into an alleyway by the pink cage.
Yo, get on the. Wait, don't actually.
Now
Get on the
westbound.
phone, bro.
Oh yeah.
Crossing over Power Street, going into an alleyway again. Left South Alta Place. Right east into a parking lot on Haywick. Exiting South Alta. West San Andreas, left Peaceful Street by the red parking garage. Going into a walking area headed towards Alta. Left north Alta. Passing San Andreas, continuing northbound Alta. Heading towards the construction site. Passing Occupation, going into an alleyways from Alta. Primary pass me when you're able to. Left south Las Lagunas. Right west Parser Way.
Passing on left.
Rocker Class.
Primary taking comms briefly left into an alleyway westbound Venus Boulevard. Appears like they took another left. They crashed into. Oh, they're going down a staircase here in the back of this alleyway. Nice. Any other unit available to take comms? Otherwise, we are taking left eastbound Abe Milton Parkway. Slight right southbound.
Don't ask. Just keep doing comms.
510 secondary continuing south Las Lagunas, exiting onto
Dead
Del
vote.
Perro Freeway. Unknown direction. Correction, east Del Perro Freeway. Closing lanes of travel. Approaching the exit for Elgin. Passing Pillbox Medical, westbound, correction, east Del Perro Freeway. Approaching Mirror Park, southbound Del Perro Freeway. Vehicle stopping, ramming cruisers.
I just got rammed.
Fuck you, bro.
567 humbly requesting permission to pit. This has gone on long enough.
You ram me, I'll ram you, dude.
Taking the Mirror Park exit, left north off road, San Andreas.
Don't ram me, dude. Yo, fuck you,
U-turn
man.
left north.
Nice,
Mirror
dude.
Park
Good
Boulevard.
shit, dude.
Right.
I'm just gonna send you in already.
Don't put me at 100 miles per hour, please.
Just got brake checked.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
Right, Nicola Place.
They're for sale sign. This is a house. This is a house.
It's about to be your grave.
Yeah, fuck you.
Foot bail passenger.
I got the foot bail set.
Yo,
They're both getting out. They're
chill,
both getting out.
Chill, man.
Driver, male, wearing purple pants.
I'm just going for the driver. We lost sight of the first guy that hopped out. I still got eyes on the driver, though. He's in the bush. Right here.
How did you know, dude? That's kind of weird, bro.
I got your stream open, bitch.
Oh, fuck, do it again.
195.
I'm stuck in my pockets.
No, my best friend.
Let's go.
Let me in.
Car
Yeah,
right
let's
now.
go there. Let's talk about that first foot pursuit. Here, let's go back to the crash site.
Hey. Ah.
Oh, and Bundy, are you guys okay still?
Yeah, I'm fine. Bundy disconnected. I'm picking him up again.
That board. Well,
How'd
we're
you
just gonna
take me
go
through
over
a windshield?
Yeah, bro, that doesn't make sense, dude.
GG
Yo, let my
reported.
boy
Ugh.
go.
GG
Let my boy
reported.
go,
You guys
dude.
want to redo?
Yeah. Bro, it's just an event, dude. It's just an event, dude. Relax.
What are you?
Nice, dude. Using mechanics to find me in a bush. Real weird.
All right, so overall, that was pretty good. I'm just gonna ask both of you cadets a question. Anyone can answer. Who in a foot pursuit? Who should you probably go after?
Driver.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, you guys did manage to apprehend the driver in that case. The passenger got away, but you know, you're not going to get everyone every time. So some things to keep in mind when it transitions into a foot pursuit. Obviously, you want descriptions. So passenger is going to be, you know, white male in a suit or casual dress clothes, going to be running away. Driver's going to be, you know,
Emote mode?
shirtless, wearing a bigness mask, et cetera, et cetera. That way you know who you're looking for. Yeah, that's the gist of it for foot pursuits. It's better to pursue with 2 against 1, just so you outnumber them, but it's not always going to work out. If you have at least 3 units, have one person try to stay in the vehicle if at all possible. Realistically, it's hard to catch up to someone on foot unless you're cutting corners or eating a donut or something, which, you know, not everyone likes to do. But if you have someone in a car, they could try to cut them off in a car, and they'll have, you know, they'll be fresh. They won't be as tired when they get out, and can easily run them down to tackle or tase. Drader, anything you noticed?
No, actually, Hayes brought up a good point. You know, if you're chasing an individual by yourself, have your firearm out.
Yep. All right.
What happened to Owen?
Bundy disconnected.
Oh, okay. Did somebody bill? Did one of you guys bill me for $1 million or $100,000?
No.
No,
Borpa mode.
I got billed and then reimbursed for like 100 grand.
Borpa mode. Borpa mode. Borpa
It's
mode.
old, bro.
Do we want to wait? God damn it! Who's doing it?
Not me. I'm just, I don't know.
What? Do we want to wait for Bundy to come back, or are you just?
Yeah, let me.
Is Bundy connected again, Owen?
Yeah, he's good. He's on radio with us. Where you guys at?
Mirror Park. We'll actually just start it up, and then you guys can try to catch up if you want.
Yeah, he'll just join you as tertiary.
10-4.
Hayes, you can take primary.
Happy.
On this time, try to make it more fluid, right? Don't give up primary or secondary just because. Just try to maintain the position.
Okay, Hawk primary then. We are taking a right northbound East Mirror Drive. Car is a 4-door sedan, active 80, weather clear, traffic light.
54376.
Are my fucking lights on? I can't tell.
They're not. No, they are. They're good.
Passing the casino. Approaching Vinewood Boulevard. West South Elkin. Left east Bridge Street.
You son of a... You did that on purpose.
Entering Mirror Park. Continuing eastbound Bridge Street.
543 tertiary.
Passing the lake, continuing south Mirror Place.
Yeah, big.
Left east Mirror. Right south Mirror Park Boulevard. Right west Vespucci. Correction, San Andreas, 510, 1050.
Yo, fuck 12, fuck SWAT.
Secondary,
Yeah.
called out they 1050. What are you
543
doing?
secondary westbound Arrow Freeway. U-turn opposing lanes of travel. Taking the off ramp.
As soon as you hear your secondary say that they're 1050 or their VCB or they're out
Yo,
there,
I
you try
know
to
your
immediately click on with the
SOPs. Don't
comms.
ram me.
10-4. I was distracted by their
Correction, now
fuck
westbound San
12.
Andreas.
Okay.
Right.
Well, you got a plant gun on you?
Street. Oh, they jumped on the
A
highway.
plant gun?
Secondary VCB.
Drop gun? Yeah.
Dropped up.
510 secondary, taking the exit to Haywick. Continuing northbound Del Perro Freeway, now left-west. Popular Street, left South Elgin. West Occupation, left South Elgin. Passing pillbox medical.
Should have passed.
Yo, let me call my boys. I have my boys on the line.
I'm gonna call your lawyer because you're going to prison.
Yo, let me call.
567 secondary. We are currently going through the parking garage across the street from Pillbox Medical at Lower Power Street, taking a left southbound. Right westbound St. Andreas Avenue, still lower.
They're contacting someone for help.
Left south, Alta Street. Left eastbound Vespucci. Left northbound Upper Power Street.
Stating their location over radio.
Speeds are at about 60 miles an hour northbound Del Perro Freeway.
Saying that they might shoot and set up an ambush.
Also, correction, that was still Power Street. We are currently now going into the construction site next to Power. We are currently underground beneath the construction, taking a left back where we came. He's circling. Now he went out toward Alta Street. He is going northbound.
They're saying they're about to set up an ambush. Does anyone have any requests?
I didn't hear that.
510 requesting hit.
Approved.
543 secondary, eastbound occupation, right, southbound Elgin.
Don't you need 2 units to pit, right? Typically?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
It's successful. Vehicle still mobile.
567 primary.
Go to Grove quick. We'll set up the ambush there.
Right, westbound San Andreas.
Where did he say?
I don't know. What did he say?
Be advised, they said that they were going to set an ambush up. I didn't quite hear the location, but if they make an abrupt stop, have your guns ready to fire.
Southbound Alta, approaching the apartments.
510 break, if possible, Grove Street.
I literally still did not hear.
Let's go to the pier. We're gonna fucking send it.
Right, westbound Alta.
Be advised, they are saying that they are going to now send it off the pier to the Kraken.
Do not let them send it.
Now going to be westbound Lindsay Circus, off-road, continuing westbound.
I thought he was going to pass. Vehicle 1050.
Northbound Vespucci Boulevard.
Fucking Sunday. Fuck you.
Westbound.
Get to the pier.
510 is breaking for stage up here.
Sunday.
Right, northbound Bay City.
Send it! Send it! Send it! Fucking send it!
We're going, babe.
The Kraken!
Some coffee.
Send it to the Kraken!
Well, we blocked the pier. 567 secondary, taking a left into an alleyway off of Del Perro. Vehicle crashed with a tree, but is still going. We are taking a right. Red Desert, taking another left into another alleyway westbound. Looks like they are circling out toward the road near the pier again. Get ready to block.
543 staged up.
510, they're headed back to Red Desert.
Secondary's VCB.
U-turn South Bay City.
Shit.
543 is gonna block one. Oh.
Got him into a wall. Do something there. Oh.
That's a lawsuit.
Corruption! Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Alright, there.
A failed passenger.
567 staying mobile to block the car.
Passenger will be male, wearing purple pants, brown hair, no shirt.
Wait, did we get the guy that bailed?
No. Eastbound, leaving the pier.
567 secondary. We're gonna forget the. They're picking them back up again at the end of the pier here.
Muscle spasm.
Second individual entered the vehicle.
Heading up the hill, away from the pier, still northbound, Red Desert now. Left, westbound Bay City. Right, northbound Boulevard Del Perro. He's heading through a parking lot of some sort. He managed to squeeze through these barriers, back mobile. We are currently northbound Del Perro, Boulevard Del Perro. Taking a right eastbound Prosperity.
543 taking secondary, continuing southbound Prosperity Street. Crossing through the shopping center off of Prosperity, left, eastbound Red Desert Ave. Entering the movie studio.
Oh, they're bailing.
Are
they?
I think they're trying for box.
Hey, from vehicle box in there out on foot.
This is a good bank truck spot. This is a good bank truck spot.
Caucasian male wearing a
567 staying mobile. It looks like they're running to the roof of that building.
Hey, firm. They're alleging they have a hostage.
What do you see up there, Bundy?
Continuing along the roofs.
510 drivers
Hey!
northbound.
Get out!
Oh, one of them just fell off. One of them just fell off. He's still up.
I got a hostage. Don't fucking touch me. I got a
All right, it's all. Everything's gonna be okay.
Hostage.
Don't panic. Stop. Put the gun down.
One's running through the movie studio, passing behind the trailer, now northbound.
Driver pointed weapon at Leo's as well as taking a hostage.
Get off the fucking fence! 567 195.
He's threatening to shoot me.
20.
Did you just fucking?
I want you to know I would never do this on the live server.
He opened the gate and helped you through it.
You fucking bastard. Yo, Malton, did you hear what he said when he made us kill that loco on the pier?
He said on the ladder, shouting, "Don't come up this ladder."
My career flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
We have another unit go around, see if there's another way up this building.
510 Ken.
If you mean the initial building they went up, there is. Oh, I see. Also, there is another way up. Hayes is up there right now.
We should probably end this. This is a fucking mess.
Yeah, let's call it right there. You guys got them surrounded, so let's come talk about it.
Hostage, gun pointed at me, and never a location where they're close to. Nothing. That was horrendous.
All right, well then say your piece, Trader.
Wait for Hayes.
Wait up for
Oh, okay, yeah.
Progressing? I mean, I wasn't responsible for
Alright.
any of that.
So obviously you guys aren't used to this sort of thing. I heard a lot of things like he was holding a weapon at me. He has a hostage, whatnot. I never once heard any location comms. How are your fellow officers supposed to help you if they have no fucking clue where you are? Right? You gave all the information but the key information that everyone else needed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to put it bluntly, if people have to hit escape to look at the map to figure out where you are, you're in some trouble. I understand that this spot is a little bit tricky, but at the very least, you could say the northeast side of the movie studio, and then that'll get people in the general area to where they can see your tracker, and then they can take it from there.
Northeast building, right next to Marathon Avenue.
So when it comes to the pier as well, we've been pretty passive, I think. I saw Lenny try to make some aggressive pits, but generally, when it becomes clear that they're either trying to ambush you or they're trying to send you off the pier, you know what they're trying to do. It's about communication and about what you're trying to do. So we had Bundy blocking the pier's entrance, but I don't know if you weren't looking or if you were distracted, but they just squeezed on behind you. It's an opportunity that you could park your car halfway across it and put spikes across the other half. You could stay in your car and just try to block it. There's a couple opportunities there, but if you're going to block the pier, you need to actually do it. You know, you can even block it a little further down. So once they come in, you can block them in and you can box them inside that ramp onto the pier. There's a lot of opportunities to be preemptive there, or proactive, I should say. But we gotta actually communicate what you're doing, what you're doing it, and if you need help and shit like that. In the movie studio, we had foot chases going on for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, and really wasn't clear what's happening other than they're running, they're jumping, they're falling. That information is better than nothing, but it's not really helpful ultimately if you're trying to guide an extra unit to your position. You know, it doesn't help me if I'm coming into the scene and all I can see is they're at the movie studio. I need to know roughly what direction they're headed.
Am I doing an academy?
Building,
Good.
What the building looks like, if they're climbing down it, what direction they're headed, shit like that. That way, when I get on scene, I can help you guys. But if I'm a backup unit, I would have had nothing to go off of. I would have to sit here and just check the map over and over again because I wasn't getting any info. Also, if they're throwing people off buildings or ladders, I don't know if that actually happened, but if they're trying to throw you off a building, shoot them.
Sorry, go ahead.
If they're trying to win on top of a ladder and throw you off it, that's been made clear to you, and they've tried it once before, shoot them. It's pretty clear, cut and dry. You know, they're trying to throw you off a 2-story building, shoot them. Any questions about that?
Something I'd like to add real quick is Lenny. I mean, good job getting into the car and staying mobile. However, you want to try to cut them off. You were in the car, but you were still hanging out where the initial crash site is. Whereas it would have been better for you to, drive around, and then you could have probably caught Bison while he was running down the stairs, as opposed to when he was just coming off it.
10-4, sir. I was just worried he was gonna fucking fling himself off the front because I've seen some dumb motherfuckers take a 100-foot fall easy.
So that is possible. However, something to keep in mind is there were foot units on them, and they would have hopefully, called that out, right? Whereas if you can get to where the foot units aren't, you can make call outs like, oh, I see more people back here waiting to ambush, or oh, I see, the suspect running down, once they do have eyes. As long as someone has eyes on the suspect and you're in a vehicle, then feel free to start trying to cut them off or looking for places you can go that the foot units can't.
Benny Furious, congratulations.
Also, let's talk about pits for just a second. It should be pretty self-explanatory, but we'll use the car that Toretti brought here. basically the goal is to hit him on this rear quarter panel. The Ferrari doesn't really have too much of a trunk, but you basically just want to put your front right wheel with their back left wheel, or vice versa, depending on what side of the vehicle you're on. But the idea is to spin the car out, right? You don't have to. You will get used to it the more you do it. I know that Bundy was expressing that he wasn't sure about the weight of the vehicle, and so practice helps a lot with this. But you do have to put quite a bit of force into it. You can't just let it tap them.
Style.
You really do have to like get a bit of momentum to actually move the car, especially if it's at relatively low speeds.
Yeah, I want to apologize to the unit on the pier who I pit them from the wrong side and sent them into your car.
Well, it's also about communication right there. So I saw you and Bundy were basically racing each other, trying to pit him before he gets off the edge. You both were trying to do the same thing, and in the end, you were successful, but not really due to any coordination. So, you know, if you're basically racing a car to the end of the pier, and there's two of you on either side, one of you needs to pull off. That way, when you pit them, they don't just rebound off the other car and stay on course. So it doesn't matter who's in charge. It matters who's in primary, and just communication is helpful here. You don't need to tell someone, you don't need a direct order, you just need to say something at all. In this case, you could have said, hey, Bundy, you know, or pull back, I'm pitting, pull back, I'm pitting. You know, or you could have said, hey, pit him, I'll pull back, or something like that. Or just something to the effect of, like, you race him to the end of the pier, and I'll try to pit him. You know, there's a lot of different combinations of what could be done, and it's hard to play Monday Night Quarterback, you know, because who knows what would have happened ultimately. But just try to communicate with each other. If you're not sure of how things are going to play out, just say, I'm trying to pit him, you know, and keep the other units updated with what you're doing so they know how to react. It's not just like we're trying to read your body language.
One other thing I'd like to add to pits real quick. If a pit is unsuccessful, or if they manage to right themselves, just go for it again. I was noticing when we were going southbound on Elgin, you guys had a pretty damn good pit where he went into the wall near Integrity, but then he just kind of kept going. You could easily have followed that up and done a pit again, as he was only going like 30 miles an hour, for example. Like, if they're going slow enough and it's still safe, like there's no one around, just keep spinning them out, and eventually you'll get them into a wall, or you'll have everyone in position to do a box.
Okay, let's run up another pursuit. Also, be careful at the hospital. That's a bad place for foot traffic. So we'll have all the cars meet over on the entrance to the movie studio on the west side. Yep.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna go.
Nar, thanks for subbing.
Overall, you're not doing too bad.
Thanks, sir. Still kind of waking up.
Understandable. Are you a coffee drinker?
Yes, I'm on my second cup of coffee.
Oh, Lord.
In 2 hours.
510,
Well, sometimes you need that
1076,
extra boost.
Mission Row, vehicle maintenance.
I guess we're going to Mission Road to get this fixed up first.
Same traffic.
943, same traffic.
For this one, let's start heading up north and see how they do with the call-outs for up there, especially with the foot pursuits. But try not to go off-road too much, because that's going to really fuck with the internals of the CVPIs.
Where are we meeting at, Owen? Wait, where are we meeting at?
Let's just meet at the bank like we've been. Here, just flip it around. Let's go back to the bank.
Wee! Mind control, thanks for subbing! Mind control, thanks for subbing! Mind control, thanks for subbing! Wow, real mind control? Poggers. Psychopathic, thanks for subbing.
Kitty. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. No. Protect. Protect the whiskers. Yeah. That's not a casket.
Can you cornroll a car? No. Ligma Soft, thanks for subbing. Red.
Do we know if there's any fix for the 1440p on Compass? Because that's fucking me on foot pursuits. Okay.
Is there a way to make it so the compass isn't always rotating?
Compasses, that's what they do, though. That's what compasses do.
Yeah, what do you mean always rotating? You don't want to know what direction you're running? Or...
Sorry, I'm talking about the map, not the compass.
Oh, I believe that is an option. Yeah, that's just an option. I think.
Where is it?
I think so I can find it.
Slash hide, I think. I think it's in somewhere in there, right?
I thought it was in your
am I wrong?
GTA setting.
It's in the GTA setting somewhere.
Is it?
I think it was like HUD. I don't remember it.
Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. Wham, 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 wham. Wham, 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 wham. I don't see it.
You mean to like when you're in a car, you make your map like stand still?
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, I could probably just Google it.
I'm gonna use the restroom while we got this brief reprieve.
Maybe that isn't an option. Hang on.
I thought it was, but maybe not.
I don't think you can.
Enabled only
I've had a
when
look
in...
and I can't find it.
Alright.
Let me do display GPS route.
Sorry.
You're fine.